Ready Check Radio.
Stand by as we get ready to serve up all your news this week in the world of gaming. Welcome to Gaming Gumbo.
Why, hello, Internet. Welcome. It's 2023. Welcome, Ready Check Radio's Gaming Gumbo, our weekly gaming wrap-up. I'm your host, Mike Byrne, aka Magic Man, as always. And hey, we hope you had a wonderful holiday season. Wonderful graphics supplied by Yod. We pumped you out of 2022 with. Now it's time to start a whole new year and get into what is already shaping up to be a tremendously big gaming year until most of it gets delayed until next year. So we're going to go through most of that stuff today, talking about some of our favorites of 2022, our favorites coming up in 2023, and of course looking at the news last year and seeing, was this really a big gaming news story or not? If you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or iTunes, thank you so much. We help you. We thank you so much for it. Appreciate the support. Give us a like, a subscribe, turn on the notifications, put a review there. You know, all that free stuff. Takes you just a second to do and helps us out tremendously. Make sure you're checking out ReadyCheckRadio.com. All the socials in the upper right-hand corner, so you'll always know where we're going and what we're doing, because there's some exciting things coming up for 2023. Some exciting things, huh, Mr. Yod? Huh, resident artist of Ready Check Radio. Maybe been working on some. Maybe been working on some stuff behind the scenes that is not public knowledge yet.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. We're still waiting for Pennsylvania to actually send us some stuff back. We filed on 11/16. They have only processed up through 11/9 now, Yod. So we're close. Okay. We're close.
Yeah, I had almost forgotten about that little thing I did for you.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely used the holiday artwork. Yeah, we used it on all the shows the week before Christmas and had it up pre-show and used it during the show.
Very nice, very nice.
How you been? How's your holiday?
It was a little bit of a rough holiday. Cat's still hanging in there right now. So
we gave some thoughts and let everybody know, hey, keep his cat in your thoughts, and doing well so far. Things are looking better.
Hopefully he will continue healing up. Still a little anemic. So he's a little tired.
Give him some raw steak.
We're trying to feed
him a big old raw steak.
Yeah. So we'll get him. Hopefully everything will turn out okay with him.
Good.
But we got some nifty stuff coming out this year.
We do. Also on the line to talk about it with us, Mr. Dom Greco. What's up, sir?
Hello. How are you?
How was your holiday?
Quiet and chaotic all at the same time.
Well, that's do tell.
I mean, it's quiet because it's like peaceful. I get to relax, like not a whole lot of like going anywhere and rushing around and doing the holiday thing. Like I spent, Christmas Day with the family, but like the whole week and everything around that is like I didn't see or deal with anyone. But just work has been absolutely incredibly chaotic.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up, man. Goose Duck freaking killing it. And then BTS driving a little traffic, just a little bit, just a little bit of traffic.
So I don't want to discredit BTS in the slightest. They've definitely helped. They've contributed a bit, the Tay streaming or whatever, but that is definitely not where the growth is coming from. Like the large majority of it, it's just the game is really popular in China right now. So there's quite a bit of traffic coming from there. They're on lockdown. They're kind of dealing with their second pandemic right now. So it's a combination of everything. So like I don't want to like say it's not one thing or it's just this one thing. It's a combination of everything.
No, our congratulations to the entire team over there. I hope you'll pass along our well wishes. It's fun watching them take a wild ride. We feel like part of the team.
Yeah, we're in like cool news. Top. Yeah, we're in the top. What is it? 8 top 8 of all time highs on Steam at 606,000 simultaneous users.
That's crazy.
That's
Crazy,
snazzy.
man.
Currently beating out Apex Legends, Valheim, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So the only ones that are ahead of us right now in the top, like in the last 24-hour peak, is CS:GO and Dota 2. So in 24-hour peak, we're number 3 on Steam right now. It's kind of insane.
It's a fun ride. It's a fun ride.
It is. It is.
Enjoy it while it lasts, because like that stuff just like ebbs and flows, right? Like 600,000 this month, and then 20,000 for the next 3 months, and then 800,000. It's just there's so many things that go into those social deduction games, and which ones catch and which ones don't. But congratulations to the team. It's always good to see them do well and end 2022 on a bang. So anything gaming, let's wrap up 2022 here. Any presents from Santa, or from yourself labeled from Santa, or anything gaming related that you did for the holidays with family, friends, or even just by yourself there, Yod?
Well, since we spent most of the time worrying about the cat,
Yeah.
I spent most of the time playing Star Wars Lego Star Wars Skywalker Collection.
Oh man, you and my oldest son, man. He was up till like 4 a.m. consecutive nights beating the hell out of that game.
It's so cathartic just sitting there punishing the bricks.
Yeah.
and just collecting the little studs and stuff like that. And you spend like 90% of the time not even doing the story. It's like, oh, I could go do the story, but there's things over here to destroy.
Mm-hmm.
I should go do that.
Yeah, and then you want to do it because you want to get extra characters, because then there's certain parts of the levels that only those characters can get to. And
Exactly. And I somehow got stuck on, apparently it's a glitch out there that you have to complete the Rey part of the story in the 3rd trilogy before you can actually do scavenger things.
Is that still sealed, Dom?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
It's just the weird
just
plastic
making
thing.
sure, because we know.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We know Rabbids hasn't been opened yet.
What makes you say that? Come on, it's holiday break. Don't you think I got some time to play?
No, you didn't.
That was a crazy work schedule.
It's like his most anticipated game of 2022. We're now in
Really
2023
was.
and he hasn't opened it.
It really was. Oh,
He's such a grown up. Such a grown up.
We have all the games completely still sealed in packages behind him. He doesn't have any time to play them anymore.
I can't wait till this comes out. We're talking about it in February. It doesn't come out till like September or October. I can't wait. Look, I bought it. I even got the steel case. Look, it's so pretty. 2023 January. He's like, I swear I'm gonna open this someday. I swear I'm gonna open it someday. I do the same thing. Actually, I said this on a stream that I was doing yesterday. It was just like, I'm now in this weird bubble gang where, I mean, obviously I have like a ton of physical gaming stuff just from collecting from, when I was 8 on. That has not gone away. Sealed stuff, box stuff, graded stuff, the whole deal. But now with like Steam and the Epic Game Store and GOG and the digital distribution platforms, you always have to like remind yourself of do I own this on Steam? Like, did I get this in a Humble Bundle somewhere? I mean, GameStop's got it for $8. I kind of want to pick it up, but do I own this on Steam? I'm not sure. As if that,
do you want to pick up that physical copy to play, or do you want to put it on your shelf for physical copy?
Well, and most of the time too, it's like, I have a good memory, so it's most of the time that's fine if I'm compared to my Steam library. I have now found a gap in my memory when it comes to games, Dom, and that's the Epic Game Store.
Yes, the good old Epic
because
Game Store.
Everything I own on the Epic Game Store has been free, so I'm not even paying attention when I click it. I'm just like, it's Dishonored this week. That's cool. Click. I
do the same thing.
So
how many games have you bought on Steam that you had for free on Epic?
Oh, probably a good. I don't know. I haven't done the math, but probably a good number. But I literally have over 200 Epic Game Store games, and I have never paid for one. Not
Yep.
I take that back. I might have paid for Riders Republic. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I can't remember if I paid for
I'm
it or
gonna
not. But the
boot up my
rest
launcher right
and
now.
Rocket League, I buy the season passes. So
Yeah,
that's
you
like
probably have that on Steam, don't you?
I do not. I didn't start playing Rocket League at all until it went free to play, and it went free to play because Psyonix was purchased by Epic Games, and so it
Kerbal
was
Space Program's free right now.
yeah. And so like I claimed all the holiday gifts for the last X years. I most Thursdays I claim it, so I'm really good about claiming it, but I'm not good about paying attention to what I'm claiming most times.
Yeah.
So
no,
that's become a huge gap in my gaming knowledge, which I figured out over the holidays during doing some game purchasing. I was like, dude, do I own this? I really should boot up the Epic Games Store. I got like 200 titles in there, man.
I have 97 titles in the Epic Game Store, and I think I've played 2 of them.
I literally have one installed.
I
Not
also
played, installed. One.
I have one installed as well, and that is Fortnite because I installed it to unsubscribe to the
Wow.
thing, and then
dude.
realized I didn't need to do that. I could do it through the.
Yeah.
Actually, so far, Fortnite's not even installed. It is partially installed, and it has a resume installation button. Because I think I figured out. I think I figured out that I could cancel through the app, and then I just didn't.
Never
Yeah.
went back. Yeah, Rocket League is
Yeah.
the only thing that's actually installed. And that gets played virtually every day. Virtually every
Yeah,
day.
the only thing I have installed is the Unreal Engine.
Oh, yeah, well, I guess I have that installed too because I've been working in the CCG toolkit to try and map Final Fantasy TCG since there is no digital version of it. So
I
I
just sorted
guess
by games
technically that
played.
counts too.
I just sorted by time played, so I have Fortnite, which I have played a little bit of, Surgeon Simulator 2, which I beat, and Star Wars Battlefront 2, which was like free, and I have a couple hours in that. So out of my 97 items, I've only played 3 of them.
Wow.
Okay. Let's there we go. Time played. Hey, look at that. Rocket League's #1. Amazing. I'm
Surprise.
fucking stunned. I'm shook by Rocket League being #1. I did not expect that. 194 titles. I may have paid for Riders Republic. That's it. Second most played Unreal Engine, Yad. I'm such a good Epic gamer. The second most played is the engine. Greetings, what's up? What's up, everybody in chat? Thank you for joining us. Let us know if you got any sweet gaming gifts for your holidays. Dom, let's go to you first. 2022,
Okay.
pretty big year as far as gaming goes. There was some big marquee titles, some big multiplayer stuff, maybe like on the MMO side of things. Obviously, an expansion to World of Warcraft. Final Fantasy still going strong, but not anything product-wise new this year. So let's kind of break this into 2 categories then. Your favorite game that released in 2022, and no, you can't use titles that you work for. Although that was late 2021
that
if
was
we were
not-
being
yeah,
technical.
Yeah, that was not released.
And then a separate, we'll do a separate category for like your favorite game that you played in 2022. Even, like maybe the one you sunk the most time into, even if it didn't come out in 2022.
Right. So I have not played a whole lot of newer games for this year. Been really busy. The one title that I can say released this year that I have played not a whole lot. I only have like 14 hours in the game. Is a game I recommended. I think the last show I was on.
Mario and Rabbids Sparks of
No,
Hope.
no, I haven't played it yet. You said that I've played.
Yeah.
It's sealed. Why? It would be. Can I say that? Even though I haven't played it, but that would be disingenuous. I know I'm gonna love this game. I just don't want to be. I don't want to sit down and play this game and only be able to play like 2 hours of it, and then I can't go back to it for like 3 days. I want time where I can just blow through the majority of the game and just sit and play through all of it. that's why it's taken me so long. 'Cause
Hey,
I just need a block of time.
You tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself, friend. I'm not here to stop you. I'm not here to
So
stop you.
the one that I have played that I really enjoy is a little game called Ship of Fools. It is I think it's like $15 on Steam. It's like it's a cooperative roguelite where you're on a ship. You can play either solo or with one friend. You have cannons on the ship. You can pick the cannon up and move them to one of 4 slots on the ship, and your goal is to clear everything out of the ocean and move on to the next stage. And then you got bosses between. You have a map screen that you can go and adjust and determine what type of map like you're gonna take the path to get to the boss. It's like, you can get upgrades and things, and it's it's like anything like a typical roguelike. Anything that you unlock, in that playthrough will unlock in future playthroughs, so you'll get like the currency that'll carry over, and then when you finally like lose your mission, you go back to the overworld and you could buy this stuff to upgrade for future runs. It's typical roguelike, but the fact that it's got co-op in it, that I can play with friends and stuff like that, is what makes it a lot of fun for me. And it's one of those games where it's like works really well with communication. You gotta like really speak, oh, I got this side, I got this side. But then when you find someone that you're playing with and you're on the same page, and all of a sudden everything just goes quiet and you are in a hardcore focus mode.
Just in the zone.
Yeah, you're both in the zone and you're feeling that, and it's such a fantastic feeling to like walk out of the boss fight and you beat a boss that you've like got stuck on for like 7 playthroughs, and it's just dead silent, and then all of a sudden at the same time you're both like, I can breathe again. Like, it's a good game. So definitely recommend that one.
Yod, what do you got?
I've got this past year. I've got to go with the Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah, it's a blast.
That was
Man.
just a blast. It was just a blast to play, and the replayability, and you just want to go back in over and over again with the different characters and play their moves and stuff like that. And it was just nostalgic and fun.
Yeah, it just kind of delivered. Like,
Yeah,
for
it just
every
right into feels.
Yeah, if you were interested in that game, you got what you wanted. Like, if you
exactly.
saw the first trailer and were like, oh yeah, whether you're like our age and you were like, oh, this is a blast from the past and it looks good, or you're younger and you didn't play the older ones and you just thought this looks good, if you liked the trailer and you wanted in, you got exactly what you wanted.
Right.
Exactly what you wanted.
Yeah, and for me, between playing the original games on home systems, and our family had a trip to Las Vegas in '92, where because we were so young, we couldn't go into the casino area, but the hotel had an arcade midway, and they had the Turtles in Time arcade game 4-player. So myself, my brother, and our 2 cousins sat there on the controls.
Your parents are like, here's 2 rolls of quarters. We'll see you at 8.
Right. Exactly.
It's cheaper than a babysitter. Here you go.
Yep. Go up to that midway. Don't get in any trouble.
No, be good, guys. Yeah, I mean, 2022 was big. It was big, right? You watch the Game Awards, and there's so many titles that were on there that you were just like, I forgot that came out this year. But yeah, that came out this year. Obviously, you had your heavy hitters, right? The new God of War, the Elden Ring, the Horizon Forbidden West, and new Pokemon games, and Splatoon 3. And I mean, those are the huge marquee titles, and that's just a few of them. But think
the
back.
Weird guy that walked on stage to say something or other.
Right. But think back.
I also bought that Pokemon game. It's here somewhere.
Which did you get, Scarlet or Violet?
Is it still in the Amazon box it came in?
But just say Bayonetta 3, tail end of the year. Yeah. I bet until I said it, you were like, oh shit, yeah. Gran Turismo 7.
Yep.
Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Really? Was that 20?
That was this year?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Tina was this year?
Yeah, Tiny Tina was this year.
Jeez.
Overwatch 2. Like,
Yeah,
like
nobody
it's
cares about that.
yeah, and it's free to play, and some more people. Disney Dreamlight Valley, and I know that's not going to be a big one for some,
Oh,
but for
geez.
I've
others,
actually played it.
that's a massive game. Like they
I have.
losing a ton of time in it.
I've sunk. I'm looking on Steam right now. I've sunk 145 hours into Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was 2022. Was 2022. And then we had like other stuff like Tactics Ogre Reborn and Plague Tale Requiem and Mario Strikers Battle League was last year.
Wow.
I mean, it was a huge year, even without looking at the big dogs that scooped all the awards.
Yep.
It was just a huge year. Many of those games that I like, but if I got to pick one game that came out in 2022 that I just enjoy the hell out of, it's Metal Hellsinger. Just Metal
I forgot
Hellsinger.
that one came out this year.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I loved BPM which is something I played a bunch on Steam and all over the place. But I always thought this could be better. This could be better. I like rhythm games. I'm all right with shooters. I have my favorites, and then the rest, I'm not terribly good at any of them, but I have my favorites. And so BPM is a bullets per minute it's a first-person shooter where you have to shoot to the beat. And I always thought this is fun, but it could be better graphically and systematic. And Metal Hellsinger just delivers on it.
That was good.
Just delivers
I totally
on all
forgot
of it.
that came out this past year.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I love that none of us have like the most popular games of all time in our
and I
our
absolutely
favorite game.
I loved Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I absolutely adored Elden Ring. I can't wait for the follow-up to it. I played we talked on the show, playing the shit out of Gran Turismo 7. My daughter and I doing time trials and everything, just having a blast with it. Like all the big dogs I've played, and there wasn't one of them that I didn't enjoy. But I'm not the type of guy that like goes back into Elden Ring and tries to beat it with a wooden stick. Right? Like I'm not going to do it. I beat it, cool. Saw the whole story, explored the world to the extent that I wanted to. I'm done. Let me go play something else now.
You're not going to 100% achievement it?
No, I'm not going to 100% it. I'm not going to, can you beat it with the femur that you found in the opening tutorial? No, I don't.
Beat it blindfolded?
Blindfold? No. That's not me.
5 minutes.
That's not me. And were they great games? Yes. Did they deserve Game of the Year and all the recognition they got? Yes. But for me personally, it was not the game I just personally happened to enjoy the most that came out in 2022. I'm getting a lot more out of Metal Hellsinger than I will long-term hours-wise in Elden Ring. And I want to be very careful there. I'm not saying it's a better game than Elden Ring. It isn't. They're very different games.
No, but for I think it is the whole thing is for you personally.
Yeah.
It is what you remember.
Yeah.
The same with my Turtles.
What have you been
game.
playing the most this year, Yod, total? Like whether it came out in 2022 or not?
You know what game that is.
Probably Destiny 2, if I had to guess.
Yes, Destiny 2. I am currently looking at it. Currently, I have 1,871 hours and 31 minutes wasted in Destiny 2.
Holy shit. Like I want to say that's bad. Like wow, that's a lot. But I've only played Rocket League since it went free to play, and I think I'm closing in on 1,000 hours.
Yeah. I capped off Destiny 1 at 17,000 hours.
Yeah,
or 1,700 hours.
I think I'm closing in on 1,000 hours there. For me, obviously, it's Rocket League and Final Fantasy 14, both of which are pretty much daily boot ups on my PC. What about you, Dom?
I mean, obviously outside of Goose Goose Duck, been playing quite a bit of Hunt Showdown over the last year.
Oh, you do like that? I totally forgot you were into that.
Yeah, I think I've sunk about 1,000 hours or so into the game, most of which were this year. I did play it previous.
When they send me stuff for MMO Bomb, I gotta ship it. I gotta send it over to you because they send me keys and stuff, and none of the staff really plays it. So I'll start shipping them your way.
That'd be awesome. So been playing a bit of that. Like I said, a Disney Dreamlight Valley. It's a kind of a relaxing one where it's like, hey, if I'm doing stuff, like at work or whatever, I can have it up on the background, and it's like I got to tab away from it. Like it's a no consequence game. so it's very easy to just instantly put down, and go and do something else.
Now that's still
So-
technically in early access, isn't it?
correct,
Because it's going to be
correct.
free when it actually launches, but you do have to
Yeah.
buy something now if you want to jump into it.
Right. So I'd say a lot of the time, because like I said, I have 150 something hours in that. A lot of that is idle time where I'm not actually playing
Right.
it, or it's like it's whatever. But I'm all caught up on all the content that's in the game right now. So there's that. I have been playing quite a bit of Overwatch 2 with a group of friends, and
That's the one with the hissing Medusa skin that's getting people murked, huh?
yeah.
I can't
So-
believe that.
So great.
That new game mode, the Battle for Olympus, it's kind of fun. It's broken as hell, but it's kind of fun. And I think part of the fact that it's fun is because it's broken.
Seems to happen with a lot of games.
Yeah, but so it's just like it's a weird little event. It's like in a snapshot, but it's like the free reward is like a Mercy skin that's been released previously. And
You
it's
saw
like,
when they
if
almost
you're-
pulled up a
it's-
campaign map on their stream, right? An in development campaign map on their
Oh
stream.
wow!
You didn't see that?
No,
Did
it,
not.
The
No.
team was doing, and it was a couple different people. They were doing an Overwatch 2 community stream where they were using the map editor to let their Twitch chat work with them to create a map. And whether they they modified and put it in game or not wasn't the point. They may not. It was just to hang out and show them kind of like the back end and build a map. And when he started to open it, they had their 3 camera shots on, so they weren't showing anybody's screen. And he's like, okay, so let's fire this up. He's like, it's been a few days since I've been in here. Let me make sure I open the right things. Okay, we got this open. Oh my God, I'm glad we weren't sharing my screen. Because he opened an in-development campaign map.
Oh no.
Baron Vagabond in chat saying Guild Wars 2, most played this year, and Cult of Lambs as far as something new. Yeah, that's another one that kind of snuck up on people, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Yep.
you're looking on your floor. You got it?
No. I ran a wire over with my mouse.
I thought you were about to pick up
moving my chair.
a sealed copy of Cult of Lambs. I was going to be like, wait a minute, I have questions. I have,
It's,
I have
it's
questions.
right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
I have questions. So looking ahead now, 2023, huge year. We got Square Enix with that little title Forspoken. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Final Fantasy 16 coming out this frickin' year. We've got just titles all over the board, just looking at the MMO side of things, right? We talk a lot about MMORPGs here. You got Throne and Liberty, you got Blue Protocol, you've got Redfall, which is the vampire survival game coming out of the Bethesda team. Like, there's just title after title after title coming out in 2023. Presumably, I would think we see the Zelda sequel sometime this year, probably very late, but I would assume we see that this year. That's not to count the titles that we expect to get more information of this. I don't know. That we expect to get more information this year, even though we may not see a release. Big items like Riot Games' MMORPG, stuff like that, where we don't expect it to come out this year, but we're probably going to start getting a lot more information on it. 2023 is shaping up to be a wallet buster until a bunch of this is delayed, inevitably, I'm sure, into 2024. But Yad, what are you looking forward to the most? What do you want to, like, just, if you could get your hands on it tomorrow at the cost of just giving up a pinky finger, you would do it?
I mean, giving up I need my fingers for doing stuff, so I don't think I'd give up any fingers. But obviously, I am waiting for the new expansion for Destiny 2. Because you get a new planet, it's going to be a whole new setup, and there's all kinds of updates that they're gearing up for on it.
Every question I ask this boy. Every question I ask
I
this
mean,
boy.
it's coming out in February. What do you want me to say? It's
What's
there.
your favorite class in all of gaming ever? I love Destiny 2 Warlocks, baby. Love them. Love 'em.
Hunter, not a warlock.
I'm a hunter too.
I don't do that warlock bullshit. I do the hunter bullshit.
What's your favorite car in Gran Turismo? It's Destiny.
I love my Sparrow with LED bottom lights. Love it. So, all right. Besides Destiny's expansion, which you're going to get in like a month and a half here. So you'll have 10 months of left of 2023.
Right.
What else are you looking forward to?
I am looking to get back into Final Fantasy 14, which I let my subscription lapse because the wife hasn't been playing because of her hand. And there's also there's 16's coming out soon, right?
Yeah,
That's
I
that's-
just
yeah.
mentioned that. That comes out in June. Yeah,
Yep. So I'm looking into that one.
that might be one I'm interested in. I don't know.
The next Section to 7 remakes, is that this year or next year?
We don't have dates. Probably
No
next
dates,
year.
no.
Yeah, probably
No
next
date.
year.
Yeah,
They did tease in their New Year's thing though that the producers for Final Fantasy VII Remake, they did tease in their New Year's thing that there's another big Final Fantasy announcement planned for this year that is not related to Final Fantasy VII. So
yeah, that's going to be interesting.
We'll see what that is.
And I do need to actually go in and actually play the first and second sections of the remake this year. So it's not that it's coming out in 2023, but it's something I would like to do this year.
So from what I'm looking at, they did say that it's scheduled for winter of 2023, remake part 2, Rebirth. So
for winter.
For winter,
of
so that means
what?
it's definitely of 2023.
Yeah, so it'll totally be February 2024.
Yeah, so
it's
gonna be next year.
Totally
We're all in agreement. It's delayed. Yeah.
It'll still be winter, but it won't be the same year.
Yeah.
What about you, Dom? What are you looking forward to? I mean, I know you're just like me, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
No, I would.
You
say
didn't
that,
like Breath of the Wild. I know it's not a Zelda game. It doesn't feel like
not
a Zelda game.
It's not a Zelda game.
Why isn't it a Zelda game?
It has none of the Zelda tropes.
Yeah, Prismine. We have Fan
Except
Fest.
for the Master Sword.
Final Fantasy Fan Fest coming up too.
Okay.
But that's not this year, right?
To me, I don't know. But like, we've talked about this many times. I don't want to go into it. I like the linear path of Zelda and having to use the items that you've earned through the game to progress later in the game. But in Breath of the Wild, you get your 3 items at the start of the game that solve every puzzle in the entire game. There's no depth, there's no layer, there's no consequence. It's just like you can just walk right off the starting platform and go beat the game. Like,
cool. That was totally the question I asked. He's looking forward to Lightfall
I was explaining to Yad.
He's looking forward to Destiny 2 Lightfall as well.
Tears of the Kingdom. I'm gonna play it. I'm kind of
excited
you are.
For it. Don't be a little baby. You're gonna play it.
No, I'm absolutely gonna play it. I'm gonna enjoy it. I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it as a Zelda game, but I'm gonna enjoy it. So it's just not in my list of oh my god must play. Final Fantasy VII Part 2, I would say is that game, but we've already agreed that that's actually not going to come out this year. So my my game that I say that I am absolutely looking forward to, that I would chop my pinky off right now to play, would be Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, that's a biggie. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that one too. I'll go with you on that one. I'll go with you. I don't care about Hogwarts Legacy at all.
No.
I just don't. And like, even if you wanted to like boycott J.K. Rowling and shit like that, like that's not even the train I'm on. The train that I'm on is I don't give a fuck.
I was never that big of a Harry Potter
I'm not a Harry
fanboy.
Potter guy. I'm just not.
I made it to whatever movie that they killed Edward from Twilight.
Oh,
and then,
wow. Spoiler.
I was like, it can't get any better than this, so I just stopped watching it.
What a spoiler. Final Fantasy 16, I'm all over. Octopath Traveler 2, I'm all over. Diablo 4, I keep losing interest in Diablo 4. I have a feeling Blizz is going to kill it, is just going to make me angry with some type of monetization in it, even though they're like, Diablo Immortal's a totally different thing from what we're doing in D4. Yeah, but you really wanted to do the real money auction house in D3.
Just because we saw how that went.
Yeah. Just because somebody course corrects or does something, apologizes or stuff, it's like you still saw the stripes, right? Like when EA did Star Wars Battlefront 2. They might have reverted a bunch of stuff, but you saw what they wanted to do.
Right.
And that's enough. They showed you their stripes.
But you know that every single time they think they can maybe get away with it,
Yeah.
they're gonna try.
Yeah, and so I'm a little
gonna try
worried
it again.
about D4, and I kind of lose interest. I am interested with you, Yad, in Destiny 2 Lightfall. That's a game that I kind of come back for a few months every expansion, and then I let a few updates go by without playing and jump in and enjoy a month or two of catching up on those updates right into another expansion. So I am looking forward to that. Just Star Wars Jedi Survivor, yeah, absolutely. Baldur's Gate 3. Anybody like I didn't even remember. Resident Evil 4 remake.
I heard Baldur's Gate was on beta test or something right now. I think one of my friends is currently playing some kind of early access on it.
I am.
But,
this is going to be one that like I'm probably alone on this one. Blood Bowl 3. I love the Blood Bowl series. I love the tabletop game.
Is that thing still a thing?
Oh yeah, and Blood Bowl 2 has been on Steam forever. Blood Bowl 3, I've actually been part of testing. I can't talk about anything that I'm allowed to acknowledge that I've been in the test, but I'm not really allowed to talk about the game itself. I will say this, though, and if they catch me, they catch me. I'm not revealing anything. The devs have been incredibly responsive to beta feedback. Like I've been covering games for over a decade now, working with hundreds of developers and publishers. I've seen behind the scenes communications from general fans when they don't know who's press or who may or may not be press. They are incredibly responsive and have been changing things as we go. It's been phenomenal. It's been a great test to be a part of. It's going to be one of those games that you like it or not because it's very niche, but I can't wait for it.
This is the same game that was on Genesis.
No, no, I think you're thinking of Mutant League Football.
Okay.
Yeah, Mutant League Football was for the Genesis, and they did a remake or a new version of that on the Xbox. They had to swap the name around a little bit because the guy who did the original couldn't reclaim the name Mutant League Football. And the name's escaping me. Maybe chat could throw it in. And it was all right. This is more like Warhammer-esque dice rolling type game.
I see it now.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I do remember this game. Yeah, okay.
I just remembered another one.
Different memory.
I'm excited for Remnant 2.
The
first Remnant was really, really good. It's like a Dark Souls type shooter.
It had some flaws though that I'm hoping they work out into.
It did. So they announced 2 at the Game Awards, I believe. The trailer was shown off for the first time. So yeah, I'm excited for that as well.
Yep. What's your New Year's video game resolution, Dom? Is there a game or a genre you want to get into that you just have been putting you just been putting off and maybe haven't had a chance to play that you want to make some time to get to? Is there a genre of game you want to get better at? Is there maybe your gaming related resolution is to play less games and go do stuff with family and friends outside and touch grass a little more? I don't know. What do you got planned for this year, Dom? Think long and hard.
I can't think of anything, actually. Not a thing. Not a single thing.
Not a single thing. What about you, Yad, while Dom thinks?
I think I want to see about diversifying a little bit and playing different types of games.
Like what? What's a genre that you're like, I would like to give that genre a shot, but you've never quite made the leap?
It's been a while since I played a lot of single-player RPGs.
Oh.
I'd like to jump back into some of those.
Yeah. All right. Pick up the Tales series.
Right.
Grab Tales of Arise and
Tales.
jump in there.
Yeah.
I could feel that. I can feel that.
But I do have a prediction that by 2024 that game will still be in the wrapper.
So, I'm actually I'm thinking at this point I need to go buy another copy of the game so I could keep that one in the package forever.
Just for the joke. For the joke at this point.
Yeah. Let me just go get a digital download. Then I'll keep that one sealed forever.
Fucking Kegels in chat, man. Oh my god. I shared this on MMO Bomb, and I'll share it here. My resolution: I want to be hit Grand Champ 1 on Rocket League for the first time by the end of the year. I hit Champ 1 by the end of 2023 or 2022, just as the year was closing and the last season had completed I Was Champ 1 and started the new season Champ 1. I want to get to the next level. I got a long way to go, though.
I can guarantee you, if you ask me to play with you, that you will not hit that mark.
Sounds good. Hey, here's Game Rant. They summed up the biggest game news stories of 2022.
Yes.
And I want to see, I've been through the list, and I don't know if you guys have looked at it or if you didn't peek at it yet or whatever.
I did. I went through
Because I asked the question to you guys, do you agree? Like, was this the biggest video game news story of 2022? Some of them I think are no-brainers, right? Yeah. Embracer Group buying up a bunch of things and shaking things up, Crystal Dynamics and stuff from Square Enix and Limited Run Games and Tripwire Interactive and Singtrix. And, I mean, now they own the Lord of the Rings IP. That is a pretty big freaking deal.
That's a no-brainer.
That's right. Biggest
No-brainer.
news story. Then they put in here, and I don't think they did these in any particular order because they're not numbered.
No.
But what happens to be second is G4 shutting down again.
Mm-hmm.
Who did not predict that? I mean, come on now.
Is that
See,
even
me
anywhere
personally-
remotely near the top 10 video game news
No.
stories of the
Me personally,
year?
if it wasn't for this show, right, and if it wasn't for the fact that I semi-follow Gerard, the completionist, who had a show on G4, I never actually watched it. I didn't watch any of the content that was on G4 this time around.
I didn't either.
But the way,
And
in
I was
which
happy they were back.
Yeah.
But the way in which they canceled it and then informed Gerard specifically, I remember there was a big controversy on Twitter about it, was the only reason this was even on my radar to begin with. So with the exception of this show and following what Gerard does, I probably never even would have heard about this completely, honestly.
Right.
So
Yeah.
That's
Same.
the thing. Even
Yeah.
like just say, you have to think that video games, as big as they are still niche in the grand scheme of the world population. But like even in that audience, you're like, really? The audience of gamers, for the most part, didn't even know that it had spun back up, let alone spun back down.
Fraycore says in chat, G4 shutting down again was probably meant to be under the top 10 gaming news you missed.
Exactly.
with
Yeah.
Good
Yeah. I
old
agree
Justin.
With that. Yeah.
How about Grand Theft Auto 6 finally announced, and then we have the early gameplay leaks dumped online?
I mean,
Yeah, I agree that is definitely.
I think
top
so
10.
too. I think so too. Ironically, if it was just GTA 6 finally announced, I don't think it is. Yes, it's big game news, but it's meaningless news. It's they confirmed they're working on a game you knew 100% they were already fucking working on. Like, it's news, certainly. I think the leaks push it into the biggest news story.
Yes.
One of the biggest news stories of the year.
especially the reactions to the leaks.
Yeah. What's next, Dom? What do we got here?
We have Microsoft's acquisition to
Yes.
Activision, Blizzard, and Candy Crush.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
I'm not
pretty.
even gonna call it King. We're just gonna say Candy Crush.
I don't know what
Yeah.
you think, but that might be pretty big.
I think it warrants being in this list. We talked about
it
it.
might
We've
be.
spent many shows talking about it.
It might be, just barely in there. Just
I-
the
I'd
biggest
even
video game
arguably-
acquisition of all time. It might make the list.
I mean,
Maybe.
I've even arguably, and I don't even know if it's arguable, but I'd say Candy Crush is probably the better acquisition in that group that they made.
If you're going for
Well,
pure
Microsoft,
bottom line, yeah.
all the obviously we still have more FTC fighting going on, suing to kind of stop or at least to put a pause while they investigate on this. The UK/EU have their own investigations going on, some of which they just extended this week and stuff.
Yes.
So,
yes.
but one of the things to your point, and why I bring that up, Dom, is Microsoft has specifically said to these investigative bodies, because Sony's making this big deal out of Call of Duty potentially being exclusive and et cetera. And they're like, we bought this to expand into mobile. Like, we want to increase our mobile presence. Now, whether or not that's, the truth or not, but that is what they have said to these legislative bodies, that we're interested in the mobile side.
Yep.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet leaks. What do you think, Yad?
I mean, if you're into Pokemon, yeah, that's pretty big. I personally didn't really care too much about it. I mean, it is a great IP. The fact that there's some leaks, okay, that's some big news. Because normally they're pretty tight-lipped about it.
Yeah.
I
So-
do know a few people that work on the game.
I'm just gonna
and-
say this. Not like I'm a huge Pokemon follower anyway.
Right.
I'm not. I didn't know there were Pokemon leaks until I read this list.
So,
yeah.
So what I will say is the Pokemon
And that could just
leaks
be me.
to
It's just not in my scope of coverage for MMO Bomb. It's not in my personal interest scope. So I'm not saying it's not big, but I totally missed it.
Well,
That's-
so what I'll say, the Pokemon leaks that I've heard of that I feel are much more prominent to this is the memory leaks in the new game. not
Memory
even
leaks.
the Pokemon who leaked themselves.
The PlayStation Plus tier revamp. I don't think the revamp is the biggest news. I think the dumb way they tried to do it was the big news.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put this one at yes. Yes, this is that with the essential extra premium and blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can they just make that one tier the essential extra premium?
Yeah. Right?
That's
Plus. You got to
above
put plus
all
at the
of
end
that.
of it. You got to put plus at the
yes.
end
Yeah,
of it.
that's the tier above all of it is Essential Extra Premium Plus.
Next up, Yod, I think I gotta bow out of
yeah,
this one. I
all
might
you-
be biased. So I'll
a
let
little
you
bit.
go first, and that is the release of the Steam Deck.
I do think that was a big splash. I mean, everybody that I've heard that has it is raves about the thing. I mean, normally I don't care about portable systems at all because I play on the PlayStation. I've got my computer set up, so normally I'm in this type of situation. But lately, with hanging out upstairs in the bedroom watching the cat and stuff like that, I have kind of wished I had something like a Steam Deck so I could do my little Destiny things and my little Star Wars Lego stuff without being
Every
tethered to a large
question I
screen.
asked this boy, every
You know,
question I asked.
if he didn't do it, I was gonna sneak it in for him. So, so I was waiting for him to finish. I was gonna be like, "So you mean play Destiny 2?"
But yes, due to little things on the video games that I just do every day without being tethered to a screen or whatever is kind of tempting.
Yeah.
And considering how much you talk about it, how much Troy talks about it, and everybody else that I know that has picked one up, they just rave about it. So I would say yes. That is a big thing.
Taking my bias on this one aside, as cool as I think from a tech perspective the damn thing is, and as much fun as I have with it, and Torchwick got one for Christmas, and he's having a blast with it. Like, he wasn't expecting it. He was like, "Oh, I could use a Switch," and we're like, "Okay, yeah, we're gonna get you a Steam Deck." I also have to respect that even if I didn't own one, for some reason had not been able to get one, couldn't afford it, wasn't on the list in time or whatever, I think you still have to recognize, Dom, this thing made an impact. Not just in it being well received by consumers, but I think there's still ripples from the Steam Deck throughout console gaming and mobile gaming that these other companies, Microsoft, Xbox, PlayStation, Sony PlayStation, and Nintendo, they kind of have to navigate around now, where they have to consider, look at what this thing did.
Right.
How can we capitalize on that or do something along those lines? Because this was kind of a game changer with its portability and its spec set. Its spec set is just impressive for being portable.
And the fact that you can play certain games on it.
Not legally. Moving on. Next topic. Sony acquires Bungie. Yeah, I mean, it goes with the acquisitions, and that's a biggie.
Right.
Ubisoft.
I'm curious to see what they do with it. But I think everybody's expecting like Halo to come over, and that's definitely
that's
not.
But Sony had said during that purchase that one of the big things that they were interested in it was their network architecture and their community building stuff that they're able to do.
Mm-hmm.
They've also said that they wanted to do at least 12 live service games by I think 2025 or 2026. Forgive me, I don't remember the year off the top of my head.
Right.
And just this week, I reported on MMO Bomb because of tweets coming from some Bungie developers that confirmation that there are still at least 2 unannounced projects that Sony is funding through Bungie that are under construction right now. So it's definitely going to be fruitful, but in what way? We'll see. Ubisoft announces the new approach to the Assassin's Creed future. Definitely big news, but I don't think anywhere near the biggest news of the year in my book.
No.
No. It if the news comes out that they implemented it correctly and beautifully, that's big news.
I think the
But
biggest
the
news
fact that
is
they're gonna try to
yeah.
do it this way,
I think the biggest Ubisoft news this year is the fact that you were, for a substantial portion of the year, trying to be bought. Like, actively
It's-
trying to be bought, and you had to delay Skull and Bones into 2023.
right?
So,
Oh, I forgot about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Which
still a
you
game.
know that resulted in either a renegotiation or penalties paid to the Singapore government.
Right.
Didn't we have like a thing on the our one of our podcasts of whether or not that game was going to get delayed again?
I have no idea.
think-
Probably.
I think we had
We talked about that many times.
Last on the list was war in Ukraine's impact on the gaming industry, and I think I don't, as much as you might think like war in any country will impact any given industry, I don't know necessarily if you think, hey, if Ukraine was at war with somebody, would that impact the gaming industry? I don't think you'd go, oh yeah, that'd be a huge impact. But it was remarkable, like how many different gaming businesses pulled out of Russia. Wargaming.net.
Yeah.
They were like, no, we're done. Took it straight out of, and they're not the only ones. There are some other companies that are doing some odd things. My.Games is one where they want the press release of, hey, we're leaving Russia, but what they really did was they sold the services to a Russian company that the owner of My.Games helped found. Like, but for the most part, that most companies, he's just like, we're gone.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for the main news. Let me hit you with some rapid fire here because we're getting up to the end of the show here. The CD Projekt Red lawsuit over Cyberpunk 2077, the investor lawsuit where they were suing because they felt misinformed and everything after 2077's launch, that has been settled out of court. Now, remember, Yod, they were seeking around $10 million. They were alleging that the damages to those shareholders could be around $11 million total. It's now settled out of court for $1.85 million in the settlement. That equals about 49 cents per eligible share of any CD Projekt Red securities. So your take of that settlement obviously varies with your holdings.
Right.
Not surprised it's settled out of court. I am surprised. I think the number's a little lower than I would have expected. You know, they were going after like 10 or 11 million. If I would have saw a settlement for 3 or 4 million, I would have thought, okay, that makes sense. They got out for under 2. Honestly, I think the fact that these lawsuits at that level taking so long and the rebounding of Cyberpunk probably played into the shareholders' willingness to accept what I would personally view as a smaller settlement.
Yeah, I was just about to say that the rebound of it, the fact that with the anime that came out and the new expansion and their plans for the future,
Yeah,
and
the
fact
show.
that it's now playable, it probably played a lot into the fact that they went for a lower settlement because things are kind of leveling out now, and you know it's getting better, so they're okay with it.
Hey, Dom.
Yes.
You're excited for the Silent Hill 2 remake, though, right? Like you're gonna come with me on the Silent Hill 2 remake. Bloober team, man.
I'm
They've
excited.
killed previous remakes. They've killed it.
I'm excited for Silent Hill, right? Just it to be existing again. I'm more excited for what is it, F?
Yeah.
The one set in Japan. I'm more excited for that than I am for the remake. It's gonna be really difficult to screw up Silent Hill 2, but I have full confidence that they'll do it.
Oh, come on. Bluebird Team's done some good work. Like, the Medium was an average game, but that was, like, internally new and
I
developed.
didn't hate the
But
medium.
I didn't either, but they've done some remake work, too, that's been good. Their chief marketing officer, Anna Janiska, did an interview with Dread XP this past week. And they were generally like pretty positive about the whole thing, and they should be. Like, they said, the fact that we're developing a Silent Hill game is an honor and a dream come true. Silent Hill 2 is a classic that shaped how our studio works on psychological horrors. The idea of working on this project stalked us for many years, and in 2019 we received an invitation from Konami to participate in the Tokyo Game Show. To our delight, Konami asked us to prepare a concept for a remake of the original game's second installment in exchange for the opportunity of bringing the concept to life. Of course, we weren't the only contenders. Many other studios were vying for cooperation here as well. But in the end, our concept was the one that stole Konami's heart. They recognized our commitment and passion for horror, and that alone was an enormous distinction for us. Our company was thunderstruck when we received this ecstatic information because many of Bluebird's Team's employees are diehard fans of the title. As for apprehension, yes, the pressure is high since we're dealing with one of the best psychological horror games ever made. We want to stick close to the original, and we will put it in the spotlight for years to come. So yeah, the pressure's a little high. Imagine that. Imagine
Crazy.
A little bit.
Imagine that.
Just a little bit.
Hey, Destiny 2 Guru, did you see that there were data mined leaks saying that they found a subscription coming up in Destiny 2? Did you see that? And then we found out it was a hoax, but
Right.
like, were you
I was
watching
gonna say,
it?
Yes, I did watch that and saw that it was a hoax. Yes, it was a hoax. I'm sure they were. Someone somewhere did pitch the idea of a subscription system, which subscription without actually having to buy expansions and stuff. Not a terrible idea considering a lot of the way gaming works nowadays, but it is what it is.
Does them potentially working on new live service games with Sony, does that make you feel good? Are you like interested in what they have, or are you like, this just feels like they're trying to capitalize and make Destiny A, B, and C?
I mean, it does depend on what they come out with. They do seem to be pulling from the larger industry in general on, their talent pool. So that does give me a little confidence that they're just not gonna abandon Destiny or just try to clone Destiny. Because if you have different creatives working on it, the game that comes out is going to be different. Or the fact that they pull staff away from Destiny to put into these new games, like, oh, I don't know, Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing that. I mean, they brought over a whole new game director, like the
Right.
original guy on Valorant.
Right, exactly.
He's leading up a project there.
Right. So
at Bungie now.
I do find these things interesting, and that the fact that they're gonna go for this pretty ambitious setup of
Yeah.
what they're looking at. So we'll keep our finger on that and see where it goes.
Did you see Sony unveiled this? This is Project Leonardo. And it's
that
kind
is
of hard
interesting.
by the images to like wrap your mind around how this works unless you use adaptive controllers for accessibility. You probably, if you have had to modify things yourself, Microsoft has that adaptive controller, which is pretty good, and it got a decent price point at $100. We don't know the price point of this yet, but Sony's making this for the PlayStation 5. It's called Project Leonardo. Highly customizable, can be used in conjunction with the DualSense or by itself, and is supposed to work with many third-party accessories as well. Like, the entire thing can come apart and be fully customizable. This is for gamers that might have accessibility issues with using a DualSense controller. It looks fantastic. Like, what I'm worried about, though, is the price point. It's got all the flexible design. You can map, you can rebuild this thing the way you want it for whatever your individual needs are. I love when companies, and they have been working with multiple gaming accessibility organizations to concept this out and design this. So hopefully, it's meeting as many needs as possible. But I'm a little worried about cost because this thing looks pricey, and Xbox has a great option that might not look as fancy and could it absolutely be improved. Microsoft continues to improve in this category too. It's $100 though. Like that's just
right.
You made it You made it. You made an accessibility assisting controller accessible by putting it at $100 price point. I wonder if Sony is going to be able to do the same thing here with Project Leonardo.
I was going to say I'd price it right around the price point of an actual controller. So somewhere in the $80 to $100 range, I think.
I hope so. I hope so. But it's definitely cool if you need accessibility options for your PlayStation 5 and you didn't see this announcement, Project Leonardo. Look it up.
Absolutely.
See if it maybe meets your needs.
So
EA had to come out and say, Madden NFL 2 franchise save files that got corrupted on our cloud last week due to a data storage issue. This was right after Christmas, by the way. We're only able to recover 40% of them.
How do you not have backups of your backups?
It's EA.
Well, yeah, I would assume, Frey, that it would work on PC because the DualSense PlayStation 5 controller can be paired with via Bluetooth to your PC, and all the Project Leonardo pieces are doing are making the controller adaptive to whatever your motor situation is. It's not changing the functionality of the DualSense.
Right.
So I would assume that it would work. Yeah, 60% of, and this is super specific, right? It had to be franchise mode. You had to have played around 2:45 Eastern time in the morning on December 28th to about 5 in the morning on December 29th. I mean, that is a full day, a day of 2 or 3 days after Christmas. So people were hit by this. But if you logged in during franchise leagues during that time, your data was impacted by a data storage issue, and they were only able to recover about 40% of the saves. Congrats. Way to end the year with a bang.
It almost sounds like they might have been upgrading some hardware at the time with the way they're talking about on here what was corrupted and what they can recover and what was backed up. It almost sounds like they were doing something and they just didn't tell anyone, hoping that not many people would log in at that time.
All right. I don't want to get bogged down in this one, guys.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep this part short. The update is really what I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
So Wizards of the Coast hasn't been having, let's say, the best 6 months. If you want to go the full year, fine.
That's fair.
Whether it's on the Dungeons and Dragons front and with some of the rule changes there, wording changes, things like that caused a bit of an uproar. Whether it's Magic the Gathering and their disaster of a 30th anniversary kit priced at $1,000 that did not sell anywhere near the way they needed it to sell, and there's been hell to pay at Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast since. That has leaked over into their video game side of the business, where they are reportedly canceling at least 5 video games that they've been working on with them internally and with other companies. And while they say, hey, we're still committed to games, we're trimming the fat, stuff that we don't think we should continue with. We're not pulling out of video gaming entirely. This will only impact about 15 or fewer people at Wizards of the Coast. Obviously, it'll have much bigger implications with any contracts and external studios they were working with. We could talk about that for a whole show. Yep. The piece of this that I want to talk about is one company, Hidden Path Entertainment, that was working on a D&D game.
Okay.
Now, Hidden Path's narrative director said in a tweet that their D&D game was still in development and it was actively hiring.
Interesting.
From the Hidden Path Entertainment Twitter account, hey, everyone, just wanted to set the record straight. Our epic D&D project with Wizards is still happening. In fact, we are currently hiring and looking for talented people to join our team. Check out our jobs page at, hiddenpath.com/join-us. If for some reason, I gave the whole website in case you want a job, but I'd wait on this one. I'd wait on this one. Because Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg reported that the game was canceled, that this game was canceled. His sources at Wizard of the Coast had told him this project's canceled. So he tweeted Hidden Path Entertainment and said, this is a very unusual and very unfortunate situation. But we stand by our reporting. Both a source and a Wizards of the Coast spokesperson told Bloomberg on Tuesday that Hidden Path's D&D game is canceled. Tweeting Hidden Path saying we're still hiring too. That's a little odd.
A little bit.
So if they are no longer working on this game, they don't know it yet. They saw it reported before they knew about it. I've seen bad comms team work, but that is horrendous comms team work if they didn't know that this was about to be canceled. Enough, like, even if they would have just communicated to the head of Hidden Games, right? And then Hidden Games is like, oh yeah, let's not tweet anything out right now. Like, it's just like, the employees don't know. That doesn't mean everybody in the company needed to know. But you really shouldn't let your Twitter and social media team go ahead and do something like this if you have an inkling that you aren't working on this project anymore. What a weird
They
occurrence.
haven't deleted it either, though.
No. Yeah. No, and well, neither is Jason Schreier, too. And again, Jason Schreier is to be fair, his sources here, he's not naming anybody by name. You know, it's sources and a Wizards of the Coast spokesperson. I wish, and I'm sure Jason does too, you know, being a reporter, I'm pretty sure he would wish that one of them would go on record with a name saying that this is canceled. But apparently he double checked with his sources and then no, that is definitely canceled.
Okay.
We'll have to see how it plays out, but that would suck to work there if that actually happened. And the company tweets out like that. They're all still up. You can all still see them. Yad, you have one thing in the notes here. What is it?
Yes. We have Nier Automata 1.1a anime released today. Did either one of you guys catch it?
No, I've been busy. I've been hanging with family all day and will be all night. Did you?
Right. I did. I did happen to be able to watch it before the show.
Did you, Yad? Or Dom?
I did not know.
It does look really good. It feels almost like I was watching part of the game I played. So, so the first episode has caught my eye, and the only odd bit of it is a little bit of the CGI work, which is always a little funky every once in a while. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a pretty good show.
Nice. Let's go ahead.
I just want to say I think the one other thing that we should probably mention is Chris Metzen has come back to join the Warcraft leadership team as a creative advisor.
Yeah. I guess so the reason I didn't put that in the show notes is because my brain, I had already covered it on a podcast. It was on MMO bombs because we had one more MMO bomb always online cast compared to Gaming Gumbo. So yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So I think that's super exciting. Like, he's not from the way I understand this. Me and Yad were talking about this pre-show. Is that he's not officially part of Blizzard. He's a creative advisor. So that means he will still continue to own and operate Warchief Gaming. He even clarified in the news in the tweet that there's big plans for his Ouroboros campaign.
Awesome looking book you got.
Yeah. Which is still sealed. It's not open yet.
Because of course it is. Let's head over and do Games of the Week. Games of the Week is the way we end every episode here of Gaming Gumbos, where all three of us are going to give you a game. Could be a board game, card game, video game, mobile game, something we've played in the past or playing now or have never played but think you should, and you let us know in the comments when you're telling us about your favorite games of 2022. Which one of us gave the best recommendation? Yad, what do you got?
Obviously, since I just watched the Nier anime, I gotta go with Nier.
Yeah,
Any of the Nier games, just go and play them.
Hard to disagree. Absolutely. I'm going to give it to the Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters on Steam. The physical edition and the way Square Enix did that wholesale can go screw off. Go watch the Relic Grind posted on our YouTube or on ReadyCheckRadio.com from 2 days ago if you want to know why. But the Pixel Remasters are actually pretty good, so I'm going to give it to that. What do you got, Dom? What are you recommending? I mean, one of the caveats is we haven't played yet, but we think you should play. And that is not a caveat I added this week. It's on every show.
Right.
So I mean, by opening it up, what do you got?
So, I mean, I'd have to say I recently just came back to streaming. And so for the month of December, I went through, for the first time ever, the entire Five Nights at Freddy's catalog. I had never played them. I had never watched them. I knew the basic concept of them. And it started out okay. And, you know, as I progressed through, it's like, okay, like I see improvement. Like they're all indie games, you know, whatever, getting through. But actually the most recent one, the absolute most recent Five Nights at Freddy's game, it was called Security Breach, which is actually a 3D game where you walk around this giant pizza complex that is more like a mall, like a giant mega mall that you're walking around. It actually was kind of fun. It surprised me because I wasn't too thrilled about the rest of the Five Nights at Freddy's games beforehand. Like they were what they were. They served their purpose, and it was like, okay. But I actually found myself enjoying Security Breach by the end of it. Like there's that whole thing of like exploring and collectibles, and you know that whole kind of feed my collector's need in it, while at the same time staying true to the franchise and supplying quite a bit more story than you would expect in a game where you normally stand in one room and look at doors. So I actually will say that if you're interested in Five Nights at Freddy's, you could probably do like a little lookup of the first like 5 or 6 games and then jump into Security Breach, the only one that I feel is actually worth recommending.
Cool. Yod, either you or I won this week, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah?
The minute you say Five Nights at Freddy's anything, it's like horribly divisive. So it's like, if you get all the Five Nights at Freddy fans watching this, you're going to blow us out. If you get the haters watching, you're going to get blown out. Like, there is not going to be a close one when it comes to your pick this week.
No. I'm not trying to play favorites. So.
That's going to do it for this week's episode of Gaming Gumbo. Thank you so much, chat, for hanging out with us live, giving your opinions in real time. Thank you so much for watching on YouTube, listening on iTunes, Spotify, or your favorite podcast provider. Remember, click like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, leave a comment down below on the game of the week and your thoughts on 2022 gaming and 2023 gaming. We'll be back, of course, next week. No Torchwick after the show today, but Tarkoth will be live tonight, midnight Eastern time. Until we reconvene, Yod, where can everybody find you?
Yod Artworks on Twitter, because you made me go on Twitter. And
that was good. You don't say that like that. I made you go on Twitter well before things are in the current condition that they are in.
True. That is true. But yeah, Yod Artworks on Twitter, Yod Artworks on Facebook, and right here on Gaming Gumbo.
Dom.
You can find me down below at It's Zista.
I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me right there at Magic Man 1, but more importantly, follow at RC Radio, RAIDEO, and you'll know every time we go live with a podcast, stream, games, whatever. Until next time, stay safe. We'll see you on the servers.